Warning: the following contains explicit language and subject matter that may not be suitable for younger listeners, church folk, and people who enjoy kale smoothies.
Good evening, Clarice.
Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
I'm square. You're the one that's square, man. I don't go screw and fuck with a bunch of killers and junkies the way you do. You call that being hip? What world you from?
No, I do mind. The dude minds. This will not stand, you know? This aggression will not stand, man.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years. Ain't I been saying it, Miguel? Huh? I've been saying it.
People will say we're in love.
All right, so anyway, we're here.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Oh, I don't know if ladies are listening.
Mostly gentlemen,
Mostly
probably.
gentlemen. But welcome back to A Pod Amongst Men. I'm here.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah. It's not only for men, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, I would like, if women listen to this, I would like them to be entertained, too.
Allison listens regularly.
Does she really?
Way more than me.
Kristen listens too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just wish I'd get more feedback. Like, I only get, very little bits of feedback from people.
I gotcha. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask for it.
I want to do, I want people to send in shit and, ask a man, advice columns, even though who the hell wants advice from me?
I certainly don't.
Yeah, well, there you go.
The man version of Dear Abby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Dear Stevie.
Dear Sabby. If your name is Sebastian, that works.
I guess.
Wow, you guys are very lively tonight.
I'm ready. I'm excited for this.
I'm all hopped up on Benadryl.
Yeah, I'm on pills, man.
more comfortable.
That's good.
Than last time.
I have some returning guests. If you haven't sussed that out, AJ.
Hello.
Drew.
Hello.
We are doing our nerdcast right now.
Laser focused.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have my two reigning top nerds here with me.
Yeah, I think once a month it's going to be just a nerd out thing.
I need to do more nerd stuff.
Okay.
Because that's definitely my bread and butter as a human being.
I got nerds.
Spill the tea.
I can bring in nerds.
You spill so much tea.
Like testosterone?
You know what that means?
No.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's what the kids say now.
Talking to the mic, would you?
Yeah, my wife. I got it from my wife. She says it. She watches all these people that do makeup on YouTube.
Okay.
And I don't know. They say that all the time that they're gonna spill the tea. So it means give the details.
Is that like a revolutionary thing, like the Boston Tea Party? And spill the tea.
Well, she said it to me
rise up
first,
in
and I was
violent
like,
revolution?
"You thirsty? You thirsty?" She's like, "No, I want to spill the tea." And it means give the details.
We're way too old for this.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna dab out when I leave.
You gotta be more woke these days.
They dabbed in Endgame.
Did they?
Yeah.
When the kids came up to see Hulk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, dab.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, they're still dabbing 5 years from now.
And there was a Fortnite in there too.
Yeah. The kid's back. The kid on the TV called me a dickhead. All right, we're actually gonna get into that later on. We're gonna do a full Avengers, not recap, but our own little review.
Yeah.
But the main gist of tonight is gonna be movies we love. Simple as that. We're just talking movies.
Heavy on spoilers.
Yeah. Any film buffs out there? Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. If you're not into movies, you're probably not going to like this one too much because that's basically all we're going to talk about. This is a fun episode.
I'm excited for this one.
The fucking last episode I did was all about people having to flee from Cuba. It was a bit heavy.
You needed to go full 180 on this one, huh?
We really got to lighten it up on this one.
All right.
So I don't know how your Benadryl high is going to affect us.
I'll be all right.
I think you'll be all right.
Yeah,
I think
you'll
be good.
Once we start talking about stuff, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I asked both you guys to do before you came here tonight was assemble a list of your top 5 favorite movies.
Okay.
So just to start off, make it real easy, we're going to go around the table. We're going to start with number 5 and work our way up to number 1, even though I just made my hand go downward.
Okay.
Which is good. This is an audio-only format.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with me. My number 5, get right into it, Tombstone.
All right. I've never seen it.
Okay.
Never seen it, really.
My wife loves Tombstone.
Movie buffs are going to hate me on this episode because there's a lot of movies I should have seen over the years that I just never got around to.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has movies like that. Like,
Yeah.
shit. Like,
I have more than I should.
Well, I only just saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest like a month ago.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I never saw that either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
I
old.
guess that's
It's
for
never
like,
on TV. You never catch it.
I think I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
But Tombstone.
Anyway, Tombstone. Val Kilmer, right?
Val Kilmer
Yeah.
was, in my opinion, his best role ever. One of the best roles ever played by a human being was Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
My wife loves it. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it either?
I've never seen it.
Jesus Christ, I'm like just screaming
That's the
into the void
Huckleberry
right
movie,
now.
right? That's the I'm your Huckleberry. That's
I'm
that.
your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
It's just, listen, it's the story of Wyatt Earp. So Doc Holliday is not the main character in it, but as far as just like a character that is like no other. Nobody has ever played. It's like Heath Ledger playing the Joker. You know what I mean? Like only he could do it. It's so unique the way he did it. It was just amazing. And every scene he's in, he fucking steals it.
Yeah.
Without even trying.
Well, that movie was kind of at like a peak of his career, wasn't it? Or maybe even a little after,
that
like
was still,
between Top Gun and The Doors and
Before
that.
Batman.
It was after The Doors, before Batman Forever.
Yeah. That was the
was
start.
the
It
end.
was like slippery slope.
Yeah,
That was
like
the
mid
end.
to late 90s. My favorite thing is that there's a meme of Val Kilmer, like chubby Val Kilmer, where he's just kind of like sitting with his arms folded on the table and he's like kind of smiling, looking back over his shoulder, and it just says, "Hey guys, remember when I was Batman?"
Yeah.
All right, well, that's mine. I guess since you guys didn't see it, it's not going to be a lot to get into
I
with
can't
that
go
one.
into it. But I know my wife loves it.
It's fantastic.
Really not.
Some of the best scenes ever. Just like
Actually, a lot of people that I know love that movie.
it's great. I don't like westerns.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
I think
don't
westerns
watch
are
it.
corny as shit, and this is so good.
Yeah, I've never been a big Western fan. Probably why one of the reasons I never really saw it.
Yeah, that's why it's not like anything else on my list. And it's so I don't like westerns.
Yeah.
Really nothing else I like that. But it's just the character. Everybody, Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp is great. He's fantastic. Just the story, and it's like it's very. There's certain key moments where it's very like heightened emotions that you feel.
Yeah.
And just to see him come back and just like that raw like, anger and kind of passion. You know, the guy's been through some shit. Didn't want to get involved, and they didn't give him a choice. And just certain lines. Mm-hmm. You tell the other dogs the law is coming. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me.
Jesus.
Kind of a badass line. Right after he blew some guy away.
That's intense.
He blew away Stillwell. Ike Clanton, the guy from Avatar, the movie Avatar, the head security guy, the old muscle-bound dude, Stephen Lang. He plays this. He plays this guy Ike Clanton, who's a real, actual historical person, but it's like a totally different type of character. It's kind of just like a coward and like he's a piece of shit dude. And then when I realized that was him in Avatar, it blew my mind because it's such a drastically
there's
different
like
role.
a 15-year difference or something there.
Well, he's in
there?
way better shape in Avatar.
Really?
Way better shape. That's why I was amazed. Like he looks like he's older in Tombstone. All right, enough of this shit. Drew,
Okay.
what do you got for number 5?
So, my number 5, I'm actually going to throw out an honorary mention first.
Okay.
Me too.
Because I had an.
You wanted to do those first? You want to save them for last?
I'll save it. I'll save it for
fuck it.
later.
Just do it first.
All right, fair enough.
Why not?
So my honorary mention, because this was number 5 on my list for a very long time, is Boondock Saints.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's I when I was younger, I just fucking loved that movie.
I think everybody loved that at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Most guys.
Yeah, like it was just like a very well done movie, and like I had no idea what I was. My brother made me watch it. I had no idea what I was in for, and like the end of it, I was just like, Jesus Christ, that was intense.
I was hanging out with Sereno, and it was me, him, and Moose. And Moose kept saying, "You got to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie." And we're like, "Fine, put it on." And next thing you know, we just sat there and watched the whole thing. We're like, Jesus Christ, that was good. It's one of those ones where like it didn't do well in the box office.
Yeah.
And
very, very much a cult following.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and like Willem Dafoe is a fucking psycho.
That was a great role for him.
Willem Dafoe is always a psycho. He does it very well.
But it's cool to see him, like Willem Dafoe, play like weird characters like that, like interesting characters.
Yeah.
You know, you look at him in like Platoon and stuff like that. It's just a very different type of role, and he killed it.
Yeah. and Billy Connolly.
Have you seen that one?
Yes, I've seen Boondock Saints. That's your honorary mention.
Yes, that is my honorary.
So you gonna do your number 5?
Yeah, I'll do the number
ahead,
5 as
number
well.
5.
And this one is just because I feel like at this point in my life I have to have a Marvel movie on there. Winter Soldier.
You really like that one, huh?
Yeah, that's
a good one.
That is my favorite Marvel movie still to this day. I saw Endgame the other day, and that's just because it's so different from all the other ones. Like, it has a different vibe to it, like that old school like spy thriller sort of thing.
Yeah. At the time, though, when that came out, because it was so drastically different. Like now, like you've seen like a wider range of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But that one in particular, don't worry about that light.
I don't.
But that one at the time, it was like it blew everybody away because it was so different, like you said.
Yeah.
Like that, I think Captain America definitely had the best trilogy out of any of the characters.
Absolutely, 100%. I think they did that on purpose.
Even though, if you consider the fact that the first one then was so different from the second and third. You know what I mean? Like one was like a period piece.
Yeah, I mean they kind of had to. I think that's why he had the best trilogy, because each movie was so different from the other, but still, was just a great story in itself and followed his story so well.
Yeah, it was just a cool story too, because it kind of flipped the whole MCU, like the whole universe on its ear. And all of a sudden now S.H.I.E.L.D. is infiltrated by Hydra for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
You guys got the Tombstone is a deep cut, man. Mine's pretty much. You could probably guess my top 5.
Really? Are you gonna say like?
It's generic. I had a really hard time doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
You gonna say like Jane Silent Bob or something?
No.
Chasing Amy?
He hesitated.
All right, give us your number 5.
My honorable mention is Titanic.
Okay.
All right.
I fucking love that movie. And
Didn't
so
see
does
that coming, but I can't argue. It's a good movie.
I fucking love it. And I made my list based on if the movie's on television, it's on. It's on in my house.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Everybody's seen it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's on in my house every single time.
We've quoted that many times.
So many times. Yeah. My wife could, if she was here, she would 3 hours do the whole movie, line by line.
Line by line.
Yeah, just love it. Quotable is big for me. And nostalgia is big. And I don't have a lot of recent movies.
Yeah.
It's all stuff from when I was a kid.
My number 1 when we get there is nostalgia and quotable.
Yeah, and most of mine are a little older too.
And my number 5 is Independence Day.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Didn't
fucking
see
love
that
that
one
movie.
coming.
I wish this was a video format so I could just do like the guy during the Bill Pullman speech.
I told you I wouldn't let you down.
Ain't I been saying it, Miguel? Saying it for 10 damn years.
That's my criteria, man. Like watchability and quotability.
Do you remember?
And nostalgia.
Do you guys remember when that was out in the theaters?
I do. I saw it in the theaters.
Did anybody see it more than once?
I may have seen it more than once, honestly.
4 times.
That I don't remember. Goddamn.
4 times I saw that one.
Fucking love that movie.
Really...
And it's on all the time on TV, and I will always watch it.
Think about how blown away people were when that came out.
Yeah. That was like such an insane movie at the time. Like, I mean, now, like, if you release that movie right now, it would be like small scale, like the computer graphics and stuff. People would be like, this is kind of like B movie. But at the time, it was like, damn.
People would be walking out of Welcome to Earth. What the fuck kind of line is that?
The best. The best.
Which was, I believe, improvised. He
Will
was
Smith
not
had
supposed
some
to say
good
that.
lines.
Yeah. That whole
he had a couple
that
bars
whole
on that.
scene in the desert with him kicking the what the hell is that smell?
I could have been in a barbecue.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is excellent. The whole cast.
He was being extra Jeff Goldblum in that.
Yep.
I think that was what really made people realize that it was like Jeff Goldblum is kind of like being Christopher Walken. Like they have their own very distinct personality and way of speaking.
Yeah. And the way he talks, he's like, like
there's always the stuttering in there.
Yeah. I love it.
That's a good one, man. I was not expecting to hear that one tonight.
I didn't see that one coming.
That was important to me. That movie.
So mine's a pretty. If you thought Tombstone was a deep cut, my next one's going to be a pretty deep cut.
All right, I probably never saw it then.
My number 4. Have you seen Taxi Driver?
I have.
Oh yeah,
I have seen Taxi
I have
Driver,
once.
Yeah,
quite a while ago.
Once or twice I've seen it.
Yeah.
Good movie.
One thing you're going to see with my list is that each of these movies is kind of picked because of the character work by one particular actor. So obviously in this one,
De Niro.
Yeah. Travis Bickle.
Really? It's not Jodie Foster?
Could have been Harvey Keitel. No, not really. Could have been Peter O'Toole as a wizard.
I don't even remember that.
No, he's the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
He was another character. Not important. He's not the reason I like the movie. I like the movie because when you see like the steady decline of Travis Bickle's mental state,
Yeah.
just even to begin with, like he seems like there's something off. You know what I mean? Like nobody is just weird like that and still okay. Like there's clearly something wrong with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's PTSD from being in the Marines, like he said in the beginning.
Yeah.
Whether maybe he wasn't even in the Marines. You know what I mean? You never know what's real and what's not real with this guy.
Gotcha.
And it's like the whole movie is just a window into the psyche of someone who's just truly fucked up.
Uh-huh.
And I absolutely love it. And Bobby De Niro kills it.
Yes.
Kills it. I was actually listening to a podcast the other day. It's Nick Turturro. You know who that is? The actor?
No, I know John Turturro.
It was his brother.
Oh, okay.
Did you see The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version?
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that played Brucey.
I don't remember the
The
character.
short
that
guy.
well. I actually saw parts of that movie recently. It was on TV, and I was like, what the hell? I'll keep it on.
Either way, this guy. He's hilarious. He's great. The whole thing is like about baseball, and I hate baseball, but he's just funny to hear him talk.
Uh-huh.
But he was talking about, he had Michael Rappaport on, and they were talking, De Niro did an interview on one of the late night shows, I think it was Colbert, and he was just like talking shit about Trump, because he says his whole thing now is he hates Trump. But he actually quoted a line for the movie Mean Streets. And
Okay.
He was like, D, disappointed Dunsky. And it was this scene at the end of Mean Streets where like he owed money to this guy, and the guy was pissed off because he kept ducking him. So, I borrow money all over town, and I never pay it back, and I can't borrow money from nobody except you. You know why? Because you're the only jerk off that's stupid enough to let me borrow money, and you know I won't pay it back. You know what And he takes out like money. He's like, this $10 I was gonna give you, forget it. You know what I mean? You know why? Because you're a jerk off. You're a jerk off. I fuck you where you breathe. This is what I think of you. And he like lights the money on fire. But it was just, I don't know why I got into that. But
Jesus.
Young De Niro, there was just something up, like he had this like spark where he could play these crazy different characters and just sell it. Where it's like, it's not, you're not looking at De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Travis Bickle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a different person. And he fucking steals it. I mean, it's his movie, so he really didn't steal it, but he was just so good. Just like the weird, like the things he says, not even in his lines. Like when at the end, when he goes to rescue Jodie Foster and he shoots Harvey Keitel, and then he just like walks next door to the next stoop over and just sits down. Like didn't run away, just sits down at the next stoop. And he looks around, and then he gets back up and he goes in. Like, what the fuck were you doing, bro? Like, what did you think that was? Like, they clearly... This guy is fucked in the head.
Yep.
And I don't know why. I love it.
Nice.
I like Taxi Driver. That's a good one.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, Drewby. Number 4.
My number 4. That's going to be... this is another one nostalgic just because I loved it as a kid so much that it's one of those that just like never leaves the list. The Crow.
All right.
Great
Good soundtrack.
Fantastic movie. Just like... And like, it made me really like Brandon Lee as an actor, but it's the only thing he ever
He
did.
died on that one.
Yeah.
That was his Dark Knight.
Yeah. That...
I remember when that came out, that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
I remember I had my mom buy me the soundtrack on cassette tape. And she was like, who's this band Rage Against the Machine? It's good. I actually wanted it. The Cure has like the theme song, Burn. That's just an amazing song.
I haven't listened to the soundtrack in quite some time. There's a Stone Temple Pilots song on it that I'm blanking on now which song it is, but I heard it like 2 weeks ago and just pictured the scene where they were the T-Bird and his guys were driving in the car and it was playing on their stereo. I can't remember the friggin' song now, and I just heard it.
See, that's the one I saw when I was young, and I didn't really I don't know, like my memory of it was different. So I watched it as an adult, and it just seemed like I was watching a completely different movie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've seen it so many times throughout the years that I know it well enough. Like, also, why was my mom letting me watch that when I was like 9?
Like shooting up morphine and shit.
Yeah, seriously. I guess some of the stuff in the movie, the first time I saw it, I probably didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah. A lot of movies are like that. You see them as kids, and then you come back as an adult and be like, oh my god, like look at these jokes.
Yeah.
This is not really kid appropriate.
Yeah. But like, we look at stuff that like kids movies now and it's the same thing. It's like I don't mind that a kid's watching this because that goes right over their head. They have no idea what you're talking about there.
In my honorable mentions, I'm going to get into that a little bit.
Gotcha.
So you guys got your list like memorized. I had like a really hard time. I don't think you guys understand how hard this was for me.
I guess I'm not.
Was it hard to come up with 5 or to narrow it down to 5?
Narrow it down to 5, yeah.
Gotcha.
I had to depart in there at one point, but it's not in my list. But it was in there.
Don't laugh!
This ain't reality TV. My number 4 is Clerks.
Okay.
I did put Jay and Silent Bob in there. But the original.
All right.
Because I saw that when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
That was an important movie for me.
I'm just gonna say, I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
the
that
person,
guy's my hero.
But I'm not a big fan of his movies.
Listen, it's not a good movie. I'm gonna be 100%. Like when I was a kid, that movie was like everything to me. But like when I watch it now, it doesn't hold up.
It's just the nostalgia of it.
It's not well. It's the nostalgia and the fact that it was just like this kid that like wanted to make a movie.
Yeah,
and it was like, and he did it. And that was huge for me. Yeah.
I watched. I've never seen Clerks all the way through. I watched like part of it and was kind of bored with it, but it was as an adult.
Yeah,
because I never saw it when I was younger.
You got to see it. Well, I saw it when I was a kid
at a time.
Yeah,
and
but like I was
really dialogue heavy. That's what he does.
I was a huge fan of Mallrats when it came out. So like years later, I was like, oh well, he did this. That's
this how it happened to me too. One. Yeah, when I was a kid, but that.
So I figured, I'd go back and watch it, and I was like, I don't like this. But Clerks 2, I thought was hysterical.
Yeah, Clerks 2 was really good, and he's got a new one coming. See, I keep looking at my list because I forget what I have on there.
You mentioned it's another Jay and Silent Bob movie.
He's
Chris Hemsworth is supposed to be in
Thor's
it.
Everyone's in it.
Everybody is in it.
But, that's my number 4.
Why?
Just for that reason.
Just because you respected the fact that it was like just some fun
dude,
kid.
that guy like maxed out his... Like, I used my credit card for oil changes. This guy made a movie with it. Like, that's awesome.
Paid off in his case.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and he also, like, I know that just from reading up on stuff, like, on Kevin Smith throughout the years, like, I know he had to shoot the whole thing in the store while it was closed, like, everything at night, so they had to light things weird and everything to make it seem like it was daytime.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. The movie cost $27,000. Wow. Can you imagine that?
No.
That's wild.
You really gotta love filmmaking to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me put. Anybody any other comments on the Clerks?
No.
Okay. It's
I don't know enough about it to comment.
I haven't watched the whole thing in one sitting. Like I was just seeing the whole thing just through bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not a huge Kevin Smith movie fan. I love him. I just listened to his podcast this morning. Yeah. Like, I love him. I don't want to no disrespect to the man. It's just not my style. Okay, my number 3, Captain America: Civil War.
All right.
Because like you, I had to have a Marvel.
A Marvel on there.
As far in the movies, Cap is definitely my favorite character.
Yeah, mine too.
And like I said, I love his trilogy, and Civil War is just like the culmination of like everything good about his movies that I loved. Like,
they did a great job with it.
The action is fucking top notch. The fights are amazing.
It was on TV last night. I was watching it.
That's the fact they had such an amazing cast. Like even though some people were barely in it, they still had a moment to shine. Like everybody had their chance to be awesome.
Yeah.
The story was fantastic.
Yeah.
The villain, Zemo
wasn't your typical villain.
Exactly, and I love that about him. I love Daniel Bruhl. I saw him. He did the movie Drive with Chris Hemsworth, where they were the race car drivers, James Hunt and Niki Lauda, and it was a kind of a similar role in terms of the way he played it.
Okay,
but I just like him. Like I like him in that role, and it's kind of like, it's a complicated character. So when the end, like he's just like, man, this guy's fucked up. He's ruthless, and then you realize why he did everything he did. And it's like, well, all right. I mean, it still sucks, but I get it.
Yeah, you actually feel for the villain at the end. Like you understand his motives and everything.
Those are the best villains.
I think that was like an intentional decision on the screenwriter's parts to make a different kind of villain that you really felt for at the end, because that was one of the MCU's problems, was always having the same boring type of villain. Like
the same villain. I'm going to get this item and then I'm going to destroy the world or take over the world or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so they definitely took a step in the right direction with that one.
Yeah, that was when that's when you realize like the Russo brothers, they don't fucking play.
Yeah,
they were in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was, I mean, that at the time was like the boldest thing. That was more bold than Avengers.
Yeah,
and almost, but
well, it was Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
But also the fact that the villain wasn't even in the final conflict, he just caused it, and it was like that was a fucking brilliant twist.
But you know what though? I think also in that you get the best version of all the characters. You get the best version of Iron Man, definitely of Cap. You get the best version of Black Panther in that.
Yeah.
That was when they first introduced him.
Yeah.
And that was when he was at the most badass.
Yeah.
You get Spider-Man being Spider-Man, everybody realizing that Tom Holland is
this kid can actually do it. Yeah.
Ant-Man is such a great quotable lines.
Yeah.
It's just a great movie.
Yeah, it was good.
I know you're a notorious Marvel hater, AJ.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
He's got a DC movie on that list.
No, I don't have any superhero movies. No, I have no superhero movies on here.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I in a few years I might put Endgame on there.
Really?
Yeah, I really did like it. Well, we'll get to that.
We're gonna get into it. All right, Drewby, number 3.
Number 3, Last Samurai.
Ooh, is that the one with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Really? I never saw it.
And I am not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but that movie was fucking great.
I'm gonna vouch for that one. You never saw it?
No, I never saw it.
As someone who studied Japan and like Japanese martial arts for a good number of years, that movie knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. It was kind of like Dances with Wolves, but with a Japanese culture instead of Native American. Like the same kind of concept of...
Well, that's exactly what it was.
I remember when it came out and...
I was trying to downplay it a little bit.
You're that's right on the nose.
Exactly what it was.
I remember wanting to see it when it came out, and I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
But it looked good.
It's very good.
And again, I'm not a huge fan of Tom Cruise, but, I haven't seen, like, I'm not someone who's like, oh, Tom Cruise is in this movie, I have to go see it. But that movie, like, I just happened to see it around the time it came out, and I was just like, at the end, like, I am not a crier, but I was like, you son of a bitch.
That movie put Ken Watanabe on the map.
That dude was good.
He killed it.
Yeah.
That was I love that movie when I first saw it. I think I saw that with George and one of the other Greek people.
Gotcha. One of the Greeks.
Yeah. No, I was blown away because I was studying Shinkendo at the time.
Okay.
So it's a Japanese sword martial arts. And I'm just watching like the techniques and stuff. I'm like, they're fucking nailing it. Like there was a lot of attention to detail in that movie. That for me is what did it.
Did you notice that one of them was in Endgame?
Yeah, the same guy. He was in
I forget his name.
Wolverine.
Yeah. I forget his character's name. It starts with an O. But
yeah, no,
not a big deal.
Him. He was
like
a Yakuza.
He popped up, and I was like, "That's that guy."
Yep, I definitely noticed that. He's a good actor.
Yeah. All right,
Age.
Your turn.
My number 3. Jurassic Park, the original. I told you, you guys got some deep cuts in there. I'm mainstream.
You going for like the summer blockbusters?
Yeah, man. That's another one for me. I saw it in the theaters when I was a kid, and that
I saw that one 3 times in the theaters.
Yeah,
must go faster.
It's just I must really like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, prime Jeff Goldblum. Shirt open and a busted leg.
Legendary.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that movie. I've seen every single Jurassic Park in theaters.
Spared no expense.
None at all.
Same here. I've seen every one of them in theaters, and honestly, I've liked every single one of. I didn't like The Lost World.
No one did.
But yeah, no one did. But like people like dog on Jurassic Park 3, and
I liked it.
I liked it.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what it was supposed to be: dinosaurs eating people.
Straight
Did you
action.
read any of the books?
Yeah.
I read the first one when I was a kid.
Yeah,
like I said, I really liked that.
They changed them a lot for the movie.
Yeah.
The second one, the Lost World. It's like they didn't even read the book; they just took the name.
Really?
Yeah. It was so fucking different.
Yeah.
It was not even close. Not even close.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Jurassic Park. I mean, when you really get down to it, who's really got a problem with that movie?
Yeah.
Who's going to argue with you on that one?
That's another one. If it's on, I've been told every time I come to your house, fucking Jurassic Park's on TV because it's always on TV, and I will always watch it every single time.
It's one of those every time you're clicking,
every single time
hit it, it's like, well, this is what's on.
It's kind of like Forrest Gump.
Forrest
Forrest Gump is that one.
That was the one I had to cut out, but that's another one.
Well, that would have been one of my honorable mentions, but
yeah,
that's another one I just can't not watch.
Yeah,
great lines, quotable.
Tom Hanks is just brilliant. Like, He's good in everything.
He's
And
like
he's very versatile. He always plays Tom Hanks, but like in like so many different.
He could be a character actor.
Yeah,
he could be Tom Hanks, or he could be the character,
or he can be Forrest Gump.
That's what I love. But no, this is Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
All right, yes, back to Jurassic Park.
That's
and
my
Jeff
three.
Goldblum.
Would you put nostalgia as one of the main reasons though why you have that one?
Yeah, because I'll never forget seeing it as a kid. But also, like, it holds up still.
Yeah.
Even the visuals still hold up.
Yeah, they did it. Oh my god!
How did they look so good all these years later?
Well, a lot of the practical effects
25 years?
really turn out better for that time period because when they tried, that was when they really started using CGI a lot. But when the T-Rex has his foot on the Jeep when it's flipped, like that was all practical effects. It was animatronics, and like that. I think that for the time, it was kind of like the best they could possibly be with that. Like that really sold it.
I read when they were making that movie, like the T-Rex didn't do too well with all the rain generators, and like every once in a while would just like turn on and like do something and freak the shit out of everybody.
That scene when they fed it the goat, that freaked me out as a kid.
Everything about that movie is just so
It's like
good.
a dead goat
Where's the
just
goat?
flopping it in his mouth. Like, oh
Yeah.
God!
And
that was when I realized like nature is fucking brutal.
yeah, we're weak.
Yeah.
But what's his Dennis Nedry in that movie is fantastic.
Wayne Knight.
Yeah, Wayne Knight.
Yeah, Wayne Knight, yeah.
Dotson, we've got Dotson here. See, nobody cares.
The best.
Quotable.
Yep.
So many good lines.
Yeah.
Clever girl. What's another? Hold on to your butts.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson is in the movie.
Yeah.
Who's Sam Jackson? Oh,
Gets
have
his
you ever
fucking
seen
arm
any
ripped
movie
off.
ever?
He's the black guy.
Yeah.
He gets his arm ripped off.
Yep.
I'm glad we didn't have to see that. My phone's not working right. Anyway.
Do you know why we didn't actually? I'm when it comes to being a quote movie buff, which I don't consider myself. I just know a lot of trivia about the movies that I've seen because like I look up IMDb trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do shit like
so
that
the
too.
reason that we didn't see Sam Jackson die in that movie is because there actually was a massive storm in Hawaii when they were shooting that, and he couldn't get back to shoot the scene. Like he had left the set for some reason and couldn't get back to shoot the scene, so they were like, "Well, we'll just have him dead later."
Let's have that fake rubber arm.
Yeah.
All right, good choice. I like that one.
Nicely done.
All right,
Full of summer blockbusters.
we're at number 2 now. We're in the
We're in the
home
end game.
stretch. Yeah, we're in the end game now. My number 2 is Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, okay.
Again with the character actors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
That is
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Kindly leave.
Dude, I've been trying to get Allison to watch that for 6 years now, and she will not.
Really?
Yeah. She's not really into, like, horror and thrillers and stuff like that. And she just, like, has no interest in watching that. But, like, I really want to watch it
That is
again.
a great movie. It's not really much of a horror. I wouldn't call it horror.
No,
I would call it more thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thriller. Yeah.
But Anthony Hopkins just murdered that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually... What did I hear this the other day? But he won the Oscar for that.
And he was Jodie Foster won for that movie.
Yeah, and he was only in the movie for like 12 minutes total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that, but that's how good he was.
Well, I was actually reading the author. I think Thomas Harris is the one who wrote the book. Like he wrote Red Dragon first. Well, there was one
Red Dragon I liked
something. It's Dahlia or something, which I never read. There was Red Dragon was the first in the story, and then Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal, and then Hannibal Rising. But when he wrote Hannibal Lecter, wasn't really supposed to be in the book. Like it was more about Jodie Foster hunting Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
But because when he was writing Red Dragon, like Will Graham was the main character, and he was thinking of like something he could use, like a plot device, where and he came up with Hannibal Lecter because it worked so well. When he was writing the next one about a completely different character hunting a completely different killer, he was just like, "What can I do?" And there's
Just
Hannibal
brought
Lecter.
him back.
And I mean, because if you know the movie Manhunter came out in the 80s, it was actually
Brian Cox played Hannibal first.
It was the Red Dragon. It was the original.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just called Manhunter, and Brian Cox played Hannibal.
Really?
And it was a very different take on it.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It was okay.
I didn't know it until a couple years ago that Anthony Hopkins did not play the original Hannibal.
I'm learning that right now. I had no idea.
Is it different?
I was today years old when I learned that.
But I had actually seen Hannibal before I ever saw Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
Yeah, because I was young. My mom. I think she read the book and she wanted to see the movie, and I was like, Jesus Christ, who's this guy? And then I saw the original, and from that first shot of him just standing there, straight up,
creepy as fuck,
feet together, hands by his side, just kind of gently staring.
Like
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, every time he's another perfect example. Anytime he's in the shot, he steals the scene.
Yeah. Well, it's also that introduction, how they set it up was interesting because there was such a dichotomy between him and all the other inmates where everybody's like antagonizing her as she's going through and being creepy and everything, and then she just gets to him and he's just chilling.
Well, the other thing too is in that scene when they're showing all the other cells, his is the only one that's lit. The rest of them have all dark cells.
Oh yeah.
They get to, Miggs' cell, and he's all like jumping all over the bars. I can smell your cunt.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's a real romantic, this guy.
Classy guy.
Yeah. But then they just show him, and it's like so different. He's got a bigger cell with the plexiglass instead of the bars.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Do you realize what we're drinking right now?
We are drinking a nice Chianti. Although being raised in an Italian household, it's Chianti.
Mm-hmm.
I do love my fava beans. But yeah, either way, he makes the movie for me.
Oh yeah, that was excellent.
So another
Legendary.
random trivia fact about that movie. I'm full of useless shit.
You're perfect for the show.
So there was a thing I read recently that scene where he says he ate.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yes.
The sound was improvised.
Yes.
Yep.
No, not only that, but that was actually supposedly a way of telling her that he was off his meds because he can't. The meds that he was supposed to be on, two things you can't have with them are beans and wine.
Oh.
Apparently, I read it in the trivia for the movie.
Really?
For some reason you can't have certain foods with it, and two of the things are beans and wine.
Is it beans or legumes?
I really don't know. These are just things I read online.
So good.
Fake news.
AJ,
What are we on?
you anything to say about that movie?
I said plenty. That was a fucking great movie.
That's all
right.
he says.
Well, Drewby, number 2.
Number 2, American History X.
Oh, I
Okay.
love it. Excellent.
Great movie.
Brilliant fucking performance by Edward Norton and Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
I know some fun facts about that one.
All right,
Hit us.
shoot.
The director hated it, or the writer of the
The
of
writer of the book, of the
fucking
original
hated
book.
it.
Yeah, hated it.
Why? And he refused. Actually, I think the written by in the credits is not even his name. He used like an alias because he wanted no association with it.
That movie made Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Ed Norton is known for rewriting.
He's known for being difficult.
Like he goes in and makes changes to the scripts, and I think the original screenwriter hated the outcome of how Edward Norton changed everything. So he was just like, "This isn't my movie."
Yeah, refused to be associated with it. That is a really good fucking take. I like that one.
Why do you pick that one?
I don't know. I just think the story just fucking hits so hard at the end. It's
that
such
redemption followed by tragedy.
Yeah, it's such a and I also I have a big issue with racism just in general. I think it's fucking stupid. How ignorant can you be to just look at somebody because of the color of their skin and think that you're better than them? And that's how the whole movie gets started and everything, but then just to show how him going down this bad path affected not just him but everybody around him more, so much more. He went off to prison and came back. His family lost their house. They're living in this tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. His mom's half dead, sleeping on a couch. His brother followed the same path as him and everything. So it just, and then to see him try and redeem himself and just like it, it's too late. Like he's done too much damage.
Yeah, his sin can't escape his own sins.
Yeah. So that movie,
the teacher, his teacher that like after he got raped in prison and the teacher came to see him,
Mm-hmm.
like that was one of the best lines. That was a bar. Like, he was like, "How has any of this made your life better?"
Mm-hmm.
And he just broke down.
Yeah,
like that was when you realize, like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah,
he's just holding on to this anger because your
Mm-hmm.
dad died.
Yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like
that movie.
They kind of like. It's not that it's like you identify with him, but you understand. You see his path. You see
how
where
he ended up,
how he became like that. Not that it's okay, but it's like you see the steps that he went
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah,
that movie does hit really, really hard.
Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy.
All right, you're number 2.
Number 2, Star Wars, New Hope.
New Hope.
Yep.
Original. Okay.
Not Empire. New Hope.
Okay.
Which is
you're really gonna have to explain this one.
That's another thing for nostalgia for me. It was the first one I ever saw. I remember when they re-released it. I think it was '97, so I was 11 or 12 years old.
I think we were in 5th grade when
5th grade. My dad took me to see it, and Dad introduced us to all of this.
Yeah.
Like Luke, Han, fucking. That was the introduction to everything. So that's
was the time when I got into it too.
That was
same with me when I went to see him in the theaters when they were re-released. And like I had known the lines from it, like the Luke, I am your father, which he doesn't actually say Luke. Yep. Everybody quotes that wrong.
Yeah.
But like the lines from it, like some of the characters and stuff, but I had never actually seen it until that
the re-release. You see the Death Star blow up for the first time in the theater. It was that was big for me.
Mm-hmm. What's banging that on the table?
Oh, sorry.
I really everybody had known of Star Wars at that point.
Course,
but it was like that was for me as well. That was the first time I really experienced it. Like, oh, I get it now. Like I see why everybody likes this so much.
When I was a kid, I used to collect a lot of like baseball cards and shit like that. Once I saw that, I wanted to have the collectible Star Wars figures. It changed everything.
Fun fact about me: when I was in high school, I had a computer programming class that I just signed up for because I knew who the teacher was and he was cool. And I was a senior. I had like a little bit of senioritis. So, I don't know. I just kind of decided like, I'm not really gonna do anything in this class. Like the whole thing is on a computer, so I'm just gonna fuck around online. And I actually spent an entire marking period where I didn't do any of the work in the class. I just every day I would go in and I would look at the Star Wars website where they had the database of all like the canon and all the information. So I ended up knowing so much about Star Wars, like, and it's really it's unreasonable how much I knew, especially after playing like the games. I think that
the video games,
dude, Star Wars is the first thing where they really created a universe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the first universe.
Yeah.
Or at least it is. I mean, I guess Dune you can count that, but that was kind of gay. You know what I mean?
And then New Hope introduced us to all of it.
Speaking of the mic, you're a little far away.
A little far away?
Yeah.
How's that better?
Oh, much better.
There you are.
That was the introduction to all of it.
There you are. 62.
That's how I always remember your address.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be giving that shit out.
I'm
kidding.
Who's coming looking for you?
I don't know, man. People are fucked up. Want some more?
Please.
Help yourself.
So I don't know. Everyone it always goes weird when I say that. That's my favorite one, but that's why.
I would think Empire was probably widely
universally
the best one in the whole series.
But I don't know. New Hope. Always.
The rest of this.
That's all you don't want no more. I got another bottle.
Fair enough. I'm not going to get an argument out of me.
Help yourself, brother. I'm surprised you didn't pick The Last Jedi.
I fucking hated that one. God damn it.
That's what I wanted.
That was the one that ruined it for me.
A lot of people feel the same.
Yeah. When we were doing the last one, you were talking about how people like. You were saying people like complain about shit too much and troll about how and I sat like this because that was literally me when fucking Last Jedi came out and I'm like, God damn it.
I understand if you don't like it or you hate it, you think it ruined it. My problem is with the people that legit troll online.
I mean, did I buy it? Of course. I own it.
Yeah.
I own like 4 copies of each movie.
I'm waiting for them to just on that. I'm waiting for them to like put out just a whole box set of the MCU.
I just saw a thing online.
once
it just
Endgame
says
comes
the
out.
Infinity Saga, and it's just a big picture of the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, that I'll buy.
Yeah.
It's probably like $400 fucking dollars.
Probably. I pretty much have them all already. I got them on Amazon,
Ah.
so I can just watch them on the phone whenever I want.
Okay.
But
all right,
I was a huge Star Wars fan for a long time. I just kind of fell off a little bit.
Oh, it was the Last Jedi. I'll do it.
No, not even. It was before that. I think it was around like The Force Awakens.
I loved
And it's
Force
not
Awakens. I remember seeing you after I
thought
saw
they did
it.
a good job with that one.
I know
liked
it's
it.
not because I didn't like the movie. It's just I don't know. When that came out, I kind of felt like I just don't really care. Like it didn't hit me. You know what I mean? Like when I watch a Marvel movie, it hits me.
Yeah.
When I saw that, it didn't hit me the same way. Even like the prequels hit me. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Like what? Just even Revenge of the Sith, which was what I think we can agree.
That's one of my
sucked.
favorite ones. Revenge of
Yeah?
the Sith was the third one where he becomes Darth Vader. That one?
Yeah.
That was like my third favorite one out of all of them. It's like my...
Attack of the Clones was my favorite of the prequels.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
thought
you
it
got
was-
to see all the Jedi in action. That was what I loved.
There was some cool scenes in it,
Yeah.
but
The
just
whole battle in Geonosis.
just the storylines and everything, like, and the dialogue. I was just like,
Midichlorians.
Listen, keep in mind too, when the Star Wars first came out, like it was kind of geared at like family audiences. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you're seeing it as a kid, you're looking at it through 10-year-old eyes.
yeah.
So going back as an adult and looking at the prequels, like they were made for a family audience too.
Mm-hmm.
It's you that's changed, I think, more than the movies.
Yeah.
You know? That's my feeling on Star Wars.
Yeah.
I agree with that. They were just long. The prequels. I just felt like they were long, but Revenge of the Sith, I loved it.
There was parts I really liked of that.
Mm-hmm. The battle at the end was great.
Yeah, that fight scene on Mustafar was fantastic.
I really had an issue with Hayden Christensen.
I hated
Everyone
him.
did.
Yeah,
I mean,
hated him.
Yeah.
A lot of people. You know the guy that played Jar Jar wanted to kill himself?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Not to laugh. I
fanboys,
don't want to laugh at that, but
fucking fanboys are the worst. They
Yeah.
hated Jar Jar so
yeah,
much.
him and the kid that played I don't forget his name, but
Oh yeah, he just got arrested or something
Yeah.
like last year,
Oh, really?
like DUI or something. Like, he's all like strung out. Like he's still got like that baby face, but
Yeah,
looks
I know.
like he's dabbled in meth. All right,
all right, let's do it. Number one.
number one is my big one, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that.
Dude
Okay.
abides. My all-time favorite movie.
Which I still have never seen.
Really?
It kills me.
Yeah.
You showed it to me.
Yeah.
You let me borrow it.
You know what it is about that movie, and you're gonna appreciate this? Quotability.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Coen brothers just kill it with the dialogue in that movie. So many, and it's like that subtle humor, which is what I like the most. It's the humor where it's not just like, he fell down the hill and landed on his bottom. It's smart because it's somebody says something wrong in the middle of dialogue, and you catch it like, wait, he fucked that up, and it's funny. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to sound smart, and he just made an ass of himself. I love it. I just love the story, and the whole thing about the movie is that the main character is this guy who just has no idea what the fuck is going on,
exactly,
and he
yeah.
just keeps getting caught deeper and deeper into this like tangled web of events, and he's just completely lost and stoned most of the movie. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I can get with that.
Jeff Bridges murdered it.
Yeah.
Were you
And
gonna-
so did what was the other
John
John
Goodman?
Goodman? Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Market Zero.
This is what happens.
You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
The fuck?
it is good.
I'm gonna have to see this eventually. I kept saying for years like I was gonna watch it.
Did you get excited with the commercials he's in now? He's doing some commercials.
Dude, I got so excited because that's my favorite movie, and my wife's favorite show is Sex and the City.
Oh,
nice.
okay.
So to see the two of them together, I was like, look, it's a sign. It's
Yeah.
a sign, babe. We did not make a mistake getting married.
Uh-huh.
This was meant to be. Stella Artois said so.
Well, you have to say it like him, Stella
Stella
Artois.
Artois.
Yeah, Stella Artois. But he even called the bartender Gary, which is a reference to the movie.
Gotcha.
I'll have another Caucasian Gary. That's what he calls white Russians.
We believe nothing, Lebowski.
Yeah, we believe in nothing. We want the money, Lebowski. All right, well, that's mine.
All right, my
And I'm
number
sticking
one.
to it. Drew?
This one will probably it will always be like my number one, just because it always has been. And again, nostalgia and quotability. Princess Bride.
Really?
I Fucking love that movie.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That's a good one.
That to me has like the chatty duelist scene, the sword fight between Wesley and Inigo is like, in my opinion, one of the coolest fucking scenes ever. Like them just like kind of BSing and having fun while they're doing this epic fucking fencing match.
I first saw that in school in 5th grade. The teacher brought it in and we watched it.
Nice.
I was like, this is a great movie. Like, I really like this.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I had seen that movie so many times, but I always caught it on TV and always missed like the first 10 minutes or so. So I never knew
the setup.
Like, I never knew the setup for like why when he said "as you wish," that she was like, "Oh, hey, it's you," and I was like, "What? Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
So like for years, I for some reason just never saw the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I was like, I don't get it. And then I finally saw it, and I was like, oh, that all makes sense.
These are all very quotable movies too.
Yeah.
You keep saying this word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah. And these are quotes that I use like in everyday life like on a regular basis, because it's not only Allison's favorite movie, but also Chris, my business partner. It's one of his like top 5 movies.
And the other one, the peanut?
Yeah. And he's basically Andre the Giant.
He's the same size pretty much.
Yeah, damn near.
He's just like a colossus of a human being.
Yeah. Yes, he's a large man. So like, yeah, him and I are Fezzik and Inigo, pretty much. Yeah, so I that one's gonna just always be at the top of the list, I think, forever, just because it always has been.
It's a good list. I'm not mad at that one.
Yeah.
You guys have a good list. Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Age. You ready?
Take us home.
Number 1, Goodfellas.
That's
my number 1.
Okay, man.
That's my favorite movie.
There's no argument there.
I had a hard time figuring it out.
You know what it is?
Now, if you ask me tomorrow, it might be a different list.
But you know what it is about that one? That's another one where everybody loves it. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad putting it on my list because I know everybody loves it.
You have a problem with like everybody liking the things that you like. Like if you ask him his favorite color right now, you'll say what, orange? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually purple. He just decided like it was purple for his whole life. He just decided at one point that too many people like purple.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's got nothing to say.
But no, I'm not knocking. Like, here's the thing. I can still like the things that everybody likes.
Yeah.
I just I want what I like to be individual. Like people say, "What's your favorite thing?" I want it to be something that nobody else is going to pick. But
I just
Goodfellas.
I just like what I like.
One of the most quotable movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
For the rest of my life, every time I get a new car for the rest of my life, and someone asks me, "Hey, how do you like that car?" I'll turn to them and go, "I love that car."
But you know, being from New Jersey or New York, you have to love that movie.
It was a gift from my mother-in-law. I just got married. That's it for me, man. Fucking, there's so many good lines from it. The story, it's just everything. Perfect.
Is this the superintendent? You have a whore living in 2R.
Rossi. Janice Rossi.
He's my husband. We were working at when we were working at Columbus in Jersey City, the building right next to it. So at the time, Johnny Mac was still working with us. He was doing the layout over there, and Weezer was over there.
Oh my God!
So Weezer was boxing, and Johnny Mac was on the same floor laying out, and they kept talking about Goodfellas, so you could hear them in the elevator shaft. I was like two or three floors lower than them, roughing. And I could hear them going, "Rossi, Janice Rossi, he's my husband, get your own," screaming all day. And any time I'll give it somebody directions, I always do the Robert De Niro. Hey, right there.
Hey, go ahead.
Me and my dad do that constantly.
It's another one, man. I'll watch it forever. My favorite story.
Yeah.
You know, so much.
I gotta worry about getting whacked out on the street. I gotta come home for this.
I have to kill you.
Anytime somebody orders something fancy at a restaurant, I go, medium rare, an aristocrat. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That makes me so happy. Anything.
I had to get it in there.
Another fun fact about that movie. So, Joe Pesci, when he grew up, he was very involved with the guys who made up the original Four Seasons, Frankie
Yes.
Valli and the other guys. One of which was Tommy DeVito, who that was his name in Goodfellas.
Yep. Right,
and
right.
also Tommy DeVito, after he left the Four Seasons, became Joe Pesci's assistant.
He's in the movie.
Is he?
What's that movie? The one they made a Broadway play about
Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
He's in it. Joe Pesci's in the movie. He's a character in the movie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Chris Walken was.
Joe Pesci himself wasn't in the movie.
No, not himself, but
yeah.
a guy played him. Yeah.
And they got a guy that looked kind of like
Yeah,
a young
kinda,
Joe
yeah.
Pesci. I was like, wow, they actually pulled that off really well.
I like when they do that. Like
Yeah.
in the, you guys never watched The Wire.
No,
I never watched
They had the guy who was really Avon Barksdale was in it as like the deacon. But if you haven't seen it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. So
Fucking good fellas.
Yeah, top 5 full of summer blockbusters.
that was a good one to end on.
Yeah. Any more honorable mentions? I have one.
I had a bunch I was throwing around, man.
The original Ninja Turtles movie.
You love that.
1990. I adore that movie.
That is a fantastic movie. That is so fucking good. And it maddens me how bad the sequels were.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate The Secret of the Ooze, but it was pretty bad comparatively. And it was because of all the backlash that they got, like that they made that movie closer to the comics, like a little bit darker and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then came out at a time when the cartoon was getting big and everything.
Yeah.
So they got all this backlash from these parents and everything about how dark this movie was, and it was like,
That's
it's
why
not based on the cartoon, you fucking clowns.
That's why in the second and third movie they really don't use their weapons at all.
They literally don't use their weapons at all.
Yeah.
I barely even remember the third one.
Oh, it's
Turtles in
terrible.
Time. I
It was
barely
terrible.
remember it.
Yeah.
I guess I was over
I
it at
love
the time.
Japanese stuff, and it was terrible.
you're not missing anything.
But that's that was a movie that for me, it didn't just hold up; it got better over time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so
Because
good.
I didn't most of the jokes in that as a kid I didn't get them. I just I thought, like, I guess I should laugh here, so I just repeated the shit that I didn't understand what I was saying. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh my god! Like now I know who the hell James Cagney is. Finally saw White Heat.
Anytime I'm in like a store or something and I pass a bag of pork rinds, in my head I go, pork rind? Pork rind.
What else? Anything else you were going to throw in
That
there?
was my big honorable mention.
But
Forrest Gump, obviously.
Forrest Gump,
We
yeah.
hit on already.
I almost threw Rush Hour in there.
Ooh.
I love Rush Hour. And I'm not, it's not the best movie, but...
My daddy once caught a bullet with a bare hand.
Definitely wouldn't put that on my favorites
No,
list.
it might be in my top 10, though.
Uh-huh.
I love that movie.
They're great.
I saw that in the theater. Me
Uh-huh.
and George saw that.
Yeah.
I think it was me and George and like Eddie Velasquez or something. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
The outtakes in those are so amazing.
Yeah.
That's
They
really
hold up so well.
Jackie again.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris Tucker. Can you think of any other movies where the outtakes are almost as good as the movie itself? Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, Grumpy Old Men was funny as
Grumpier
hell.
Old Men.
I haven't seen
outtakes.
those since.
Yeah, Burgess
since I
Meredith
was
was
a
funny
kid.
as hell.
Yeah.
He used to kill me when I was a kid, man. That shit was funny.
All right, fellas. Well, we got through our top fives. Now it's time to get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go.
Avengers Endgame.
I'm not ready for this.
Right now it's
Yeah.
Monday, the 29th of April. So the movie just came out Friday. We've all seen it.
Yes.
Immediate
Spoiler.
reactions.
Let me just start by apologizing to both of you for any trolling I've ever done in the past on Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are forgiven.
Man, I'm sorry. That movie was amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a couple things that.
Oh, I have a ghost?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, I know who it is.
Uh-huh.
You want to say hi, Ty? Hi. Come here.
There he is.
We have a real...
I was like, you have a ghost or a very small person.
Why don't you say hello to the people listening, Tyler? That's it?
And he's gone.
All right. I'll see you later.
I'm sleeping with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm sleeping with you.
It's good to know. I guess
Night,
I'm
buddy.
not sleeping. All right. Back upstairs, brother man. Being a dad.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, Avengers Endgame. We've all seen it. Just came out Friday. Already it says biggest opening weekend in movie history.
Yeah, made a billion, over a billion already.
Over a billion, 1.2 billion worldwide in the opening weekend.
Suck on that, Titanic.
And
Nuts.
Avatar.
James Cameron is mad as hell right now.
Coming for him.
Oh yeah. Well, it's got to beat Force Awakens, all right?
No, it already beat it by a long shot.
No, I mean for like highest grossing movie in total.
All time? I don't think. I think it's
Force
still
Awakens-
Avatar.
Is
I
it
think.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Avatar.
We're coming hard.
Force Awakens only had the record for, as far as I know, biggest opening weekend, which was 57 million domestically, and Avengers got 60 million domestically.
That's insane.
I'm sorry, that was opening night, not opening weekend.
I don't even know how I got tickets. I just bought them like a week before.
I did 2 weeks in advance, and like we had to try 3 different movie times to find 2 seats together.
When that last trailer came out, where it first announced the tickets were on sale, I just happened to go on Fandango right at that moment, and I was able to get tickets.
Yeah.
And I looked back again, and they were all gone already.
Uh-huh.
So thank God I happened to look when I did.
What night did you go?
We went Friday.
Nice.
Me too.
Friday at 7.
Yeah. We went Saturday afternoon.
I was the place was packed. I'm assuming for both of you.
Yeah.
I had an empty seat.
Really?
Next to, I guess the guy that bought it never showed up. So
You know, everything was sold out.
That was
by
cool,
us.
nice and spread out. The crowd was just as good as the movie.
Yeah. I love when you go to
the
audience.
audience.
Opening night movies is when you get the people that show
That
up
was
to
great.
clap and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, if somebody brings their baby into this movie, I'm gonna fucking kill him. There was a baby in there being a baby.
Way to go, Tom Segura. my man.
Yep.
Oh, I love the baby.
Okay.
Can you?
Let's get into it. This is spoiler heavy right now, in case you don't already know. I think I'm gonna
Some
title.
tea dropping.
I'm gonna title this episode "Spoiler Warnings."
Yeah.
So if you're listening right now and
even-
you haven't seen it, too fucking bad, bro.
Yeah, even our top 5s that we went through, like there were some spoilers in there. So
Yeah, we sprinkled it in all throughout this last hour.
Mm-hmm.
All right, immediate takes. AJ, what do you got?
I was blown away. I really. Well, it's just spoilers, right? So the last battle, it was so good. I almost wanted to walk out of the movie theater. I was like, I don't deserve this. I literally don't deserve to see this. I'm so sorry.
that was that was just so epic.
I cried like a bitch at certain points, and I'm not like straight up tears, not even misty eyed. Like I teared up.
My wife cried,
and so were other people. I heard people sobbing in the theater, like sniffles.
Oh yeah, Kevin Smith. I was listening to him do a review of it today.
He cried.
He cried just in the review.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I am not a crier. Like
me neither.
Yeah, Allison's never seen me cry, and I was like, you should bring a couple tissues with you.
I'm not.
This
a
might
crier.
be your moment to see it. And I was almost there. I was like, don't you do it.
Which part was it? Do you remember?
It was
Yes.
Tony Stark.
Yep.
When he died, or when?
Yep. Yeah.
For me, it was when Peter came back. When Spidey came
That
back.
was a little
I cried
rough.
at all these parts.
Yeah.
I cried when he met his father.
Uh-huh.
That
one didn't get
that one got me going a little bit because it was really fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that they had the little shout out to the TV shows. It's like an acknowledgement that the TV universe.
They had Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yeah.
That was the first time the movies acknowledged any of the TV shows.
I was happy about that.
I cried when after Hulk did the reverse snap, and Hawkeye's phone rang.
And you see his wife's
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, and he had no words.
Yeah.
That was good.
And then all of a sudden everything just goes right to hell.
Right to shit.
Jesus.
All right, so let's get into a couple of the big things individually in events. Wait, Drew, what's your immediate reaction first of all?
I went into it intentionally with this past year there have been so many fan theories and this and that of everything that was going to go on in the movie, and I intentionally stayed away from them. Didn't read into them. I didn't want any speculation or anything I didn't even speculate myself of what I thought was going to happen. I was like, the guys that are making this movie are going to do this better than whatever is in my head. So I just let it go. And I was like, I'm just going to watch this fucking movie and enjoy it for what it is. Like, I stayed off of social media for 2 days beforehand, like Thursday night.
I tried so hard.
Yeah. Like I popped onto Facebook for 2 minutes on Friday night and came across something and it said Avengers Endgame and I was like, nope, and just turned it, just gone.
I had a pretty good feeling. Everything that I thought was going to happen at the end, for the most part, where it was going to go, I pretty much knew it. I mean, I figured everyone that was snapped away would come back. I figured, obviously, they're going to kill Thanos in the end.
Yeah. That was a given. Everybody coming back.
Yeah.
Most of the people that were snapped away have upcoming movies.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's
like
all
I
a
said
matter
last
of-
time,
it's
like,
all a matter of how they do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Exactly.
they could just unsnap it and then it's just like it
And
erased everything
everybody's-
that happened in the
Exactly.
last movie.
Yeah.
but the way they did
The way they
did it,
that these people missed 5 years.
Yeah, there was
Uh-huh.
serious lasting effects with that.
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that at first I felt were plot holes. That now that I'm looking back at it, maybe not.
Maybe not.
So, first off, goodbye, Iron Man.
Goodbye, Iron Man.
Rest in peace, Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was actually, I thought it was going to be flipped. Where
I thought Cap was going to be.
I thought Cap was going to go. He was going to be the one to lay down on the wire, and Tony Stark was going to get his happy ending. So that kind of, but I like the way they did it.
Tony Stark is rich. He can afford a happy ending.
I don't want to jump to the end, but
We're already there.
we were in the theater and it showed Captain at the end, and he was all old. As soon as it showed him on the screen, I went, "Holy shit, it's Joe Biden!" Loud. I said it like loud in the theater by accident, and like my immediate area, like that was sitting around me, started laughing. So that made me feel pretty good. I thought that was funny because he really does look like.
Yeah, now that he does.
That took me a second. Like I was in the back row of the theater and I don't have the best vision. I need glasses and just haven't gotten around to getting them. So like I had to like kind of squint a little bit and was like, is that actually Chris Evans in makeup or is they just cast some random old guy? I was like, no, they wouldn't do that. That's actually Chris Evans.
They could de-age people. They could age people.
Yeah.
But I loved, if you realize, like, throughout the whole movie, there's really not any action. There's like the Cap versus Cap fight.
Yeah.
And that's about it as far as real action.
America's ass.
That is America's ass.
I missed a part of it. My wife was telling me.
Well, yeah, in the bathroom?
I had to pee. I did.
Yeah, I
had to go
purposely
piss.
I dehydrated myself for the first half of the day.
So did
I was so mad, but I had to go. But it was the part where Loki apparently got away with the Tesseract in the past.
Yeah, which makes sense. I didn't even think about it when it happened, but that sets
sets up the Loki
He has
show.
his own show coming up, and that sets it up. But it's going to be in an alternate timeline where none of this shit happens.
This is becoming like DC now with all these parallel timelines. I really liked all the fan service because they did it in
was
a way
full of it.
where it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't campy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it wasn't even obvious.
Uh-huh.
Like even something as dumb as like when they showed Hank Pym's lab when they went back in the 70s.
And the old
And they had the
Ant-Man
old Ant-Man helmet there.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. There's a lot of cool things. Did anybody else pick up the Namor reference?
Something in the Atlantic.
So in the beginning, when it showed Black Widow there talking to all the holograms,
Yeah.
Okoye was talking that there was an earthquake somewhere deep in the Atlantic. We're going to go investigate. That's a reference to Namor in Atlantis because Kevin Feige's been saying we're definitely going to have Namor at some point.
Nice.
So
that's another one. They weren't able to use him for a long time. The rights just reverted back to them because he was owned by Universal.
And they didn't do anything with him.
They did nothing. So yeah, that's a cool little thing. Let's get into things that bothered me.
Okay.
The one main thing that bothered me was Fat Thor.
Really?
Now wait a minute. I thought it was hysterical when it happened.
Yeah.
But the fact that it stayed through the entire movie,
I agree.
That bothered me.
I was surprised. I wouldn't say it bothered me, but I was surprised that they kept him that way.
Yeah.
I can officially say I have the same body. I'm built like a god.
I'm built like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I love that. That was like a very bold choice for them to take the friggin' sex symbol of the whole franchise and they just make him fat and keep him that way for the whole movie.
Very bold, but I like that they did it in the beginning. I didn't like that they kept it. And my buddy Eric was the one that pointed it out to me that like they kept it through the whole movie and like he could have held up the hammer and got struck by lightning and been fucking hot again.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, so did I. But he held up the hammer and got struck by lightning and he was in his uniform.
Just a larger version of it.
Falling out of it.
With that hair and the beard.
It was good, though.
He looks like the kind of guy who makes his clothes out of hemp. You know what I mean?
He kind of looked like the Big Lebowski.
He called him Lebowski.
Actually,
which is a little meta considering that Jeff Bridges was in the friggin'
was
MCU.
Ironmonger, yeah.
I loved Fat Thor, and I love the fact that we got to see Korg again.
That was great.
Because Korg, Thor Ragnarok was one of my favorite MCU movies.
Yeah.
That was my number
it's a
2
great one.
behind Civil War. And I love Taika Waititi. So the fact that we got to see him again, it was so amazing to me.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that they brought him back. Like he was such a loved character from that movie.
Yeah, he was like a breakout character.
Yeah, that they were like they had to bring him back.
So one of the things, like I was saying, originally I was worried that it was going to be a giant plot hole, was the fact that they broke all their own time travel rules. The whole concept is they're supposed to go back and not mess with things, and somehow they all messed with things.
Yeah, they messed with everything.
They explained everything pretty well, really well actually, as far as their own rules. You know, the version of their own rules for the movies.
Time travel always confuses me in movies. When they start explaining time travel, like my brain just goes blank.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
I go, I'm just gonna.
I
watch
start
this
thinking
and...
about, wait, if they did this, well, doesn't this change? I don't. Without thinking about it, it all worked.
Well,
you know,
it didn't really work. I mean, because if you think about it, when Hulk is talking to the Ancient One and she's showing him the little diagram of this divergent
alternate
timelines
realities,
and stuff. She's saying, like, if you change things, you have like a whole nother alternate timeline.
Yeah.
So you have the problem with the Loki timeline, which they didn't resolve. You have the problem with Thanos, where Thanos and his entire army came from the past to the future and is essentially gone from that timeline.
Yeah, and
they all got dusted.
Yeah.
And then you have, at the very end, you have Cap went back, which this is the only one where I think could be explained away. Because if Cap really did go back and live a life with Peggy Carter, she got married, but they never say who it was.
Yeah.
He could have just used a fake name so as not to change things around.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Because I was going to say that it messed everything up by him doing that. But
that I think is the only one that might not have messed things up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, but I think instead of that being a plot hole, I think now that's something that has to be addressed in future movies, and that becomes like a plot driver. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like you said with the Loki thing, like that just set up Loki's whole show.
Yeah. But in an alternate timeline where, none of the stuff that happened to him in the last, 6 years happened. Like,
but then again,
the Dark World and Ragnarok and all that. Like, none of that happened. So his show is going to be starting off as him being a fucking dickhead who wants to take over New York.
Right. But at the same time, they set it up in a way where it works with the rest of the larger MCU.
Yes.
They've been planning that I think they were planning for this movie for a long. They knew what they were doing from the beginning.
Everything for a very long time.
It worked out so perfectly. The one thing that there was things that bothered me too, but I could even overlook them. The way that Professor Hulk puts on the gauntlet. First of all, Thanos had to go make a gauntlet with Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
with Eitri.
Yeah, whatever his name is. With the power of a star to melt everything, and apparently, Tony Stark could just make his own.
Well, I mean, it was just a glove.
Yeah.
I mean, I could overlook. Yeah, but then why did he have to have it made with like that?
Maybe he didn't have to. Maybe he just
wanted to. Maybe he's bougie,
Yeah, maybe. And then Hulk puts it on and almost can't even barely handle the power of it. But then when Iron Man puts it on, he was like pretty much cool.
It killed him.
It killed him when he snapped.
He literally died.
But Hulk almost couldn't even get to the snap. He was like struggling just to snap his fingers, and but I could overlook it. I don't want to be nitpicky. I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a Green Lantern thing. It's willpower.
Yeah, I mean, there's always issues with like people's power levels in these movies.
Yeah. Maybe the suit helped him out. I don't know, but I give it a 10 out of 10. That I was blown away. I don't want to nitpick on it.
Yeah, just the end battle sequence. Like first off, with Thor, Cap, and Iron Man walking out facing off against Thanos, like that was just badass. And I really think I almost feel like they did. It's complicated. Like I feel like they did a better job of making Thanos just a scary villain in this one, where it's like young Thanos. He's just driven, like he's in battle mode.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he's got the armor.
He was more compassionate
in the last one.
In the last one,
yeah. Whereas this one, he's just a killer. And he's just ruthless and
he was mad. He said, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to enjoy ruining your planet.
Well, you know what? I think getting into that a little bit, it's, obviously it was him from 10 years ago, so it was a bit of a different character in the first place.
Right.
But it was a different character who then saw his next 10 years in Nebula's memories. So he saw how everything played out and how him being that compassionate character, kind of played out, and it didn't work out in his favor.
Right.
He almost got there, but not quite.
Yeah. Like, he got what he wanted, but there was a way for them to take it back.
Yeah, he even says, like, the fact that he was trying to wipe out half the life. There's always going to be people that resist.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I'll just kill
everybody.
Yeah, so then he made it. Then it got personal for him.
Yeah.
And he watched himself die.
Yeah.
That's got to mess with your head a little
Chopped
bit.
his fucking head right off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. He got to see all that stuff without really experiencing it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that definitely, I think, had a hand in changing his mentality of how he was going to move forward with his plan.
Can we get back to Thick Thor?
Thick Thor.
I want to talk about that. Because I actually really like that. Because not just because it was funny and hilarious, but because you really, if you think about it, Thor carried all the weight of that loss on himself because he realized, because he was so consumed with revenge on Thanos, he blew the whole thing. He should have aimed for the head.
He blamed himself for the whole
because
thing.
he wanted to make him suffer.
Yeah. Yep.
He gave him those few extra seconds to snap.
Yeah.
So he's carrying the weight of half the life in the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's got to fuck somebody up, even if you're a god. Like, that's some serious PTSD.
I completely understand that.
So that's why I kind of liked the Fat Thor choice that they made.
I like it as a gag in the beginning, and again, it makes sense. Like what you just said, it does make sense. But like from just a fan perspective, like I don't want to see like that at the end. Like, though, I want to see him be a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I agree with Drew on this.
We got to see that in Infinity War.
Yeah,
Thor had the best entrance ever.
Yeah, he really. All right, I'll give you that.
I can live with. Like, what it is, and I respect the fact that they made a choice for the character and they stuck with it. Yeah. They didn't just, they could have just erased everything that happened and re-snapped everybody. They could have just, have Thor get hit with a lightning bolt. Now he's handsome again.
Yeah, and they're certainly going to undo it in Guardians 3.
Yeah, probably.
Which now I see why they really badly wanted to make Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to be awesome.
As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Asgardian, yeah. Which is a comic book.
Yeah. Oh, but Thor wasn't in it, right?
No.
Valkyrie was there.
No, yeah, there's a few others, but no, he's not in it.
But I like the bit where he runs into his mom.
Yeah, that was really good.
And
just great character moments.
And he starts crying, yeah. He was good. He was funny.
Fucking cat gets Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. As soon as he saw it move, I was
the
like,
whole plane.
No, yes.
Yeah.
The whole place went nuts when that happened in the theater.
See, everyone went nuts in the theater except for me because I saw it coming because of some douchebag walking out of the theater. Yeah. Like he walked out of the theater. I was waiting for Allison to come out of the bathroom. Like, we both made sure, like, all right, let's go to the bathroom before we go into this fucking movie.
Oh, you peeked in there and saw it?
Huh?
No, somebody was talking about
somebody came out.
Oh, no way.
Yes, was coming out of the theater and was like, yeah, so, Cap's the rightful ruler of Asgard now, because that line in Age of Ultron where Tony Stark goes, if I can lift it, I rule Asgard, right? And he's like, yeah, of course. So somebody comes out and goes, so Cap's the rightful ruler of Asgard now. And I was like, that's fucker.
I saw a video. Some guy got his ass kicked outside.
I actually saved part of this article. Let me just read this for you. So I forget where this was written in there's like Daily Caller or something. So it says, a picture of a bloody man outside of a movie theater in Causeway Bay, Hong Kong.
That's the one.
Has been making the rounds, and it's reportedly the Avengers Endgame fan who spoiled the movie for other fans. The unknown man allegedly yelled out spoilers as fans were walking into the theater, which resulted in a violent outburst. Multiple people reportedly jumped the man and left him bruised and bloody in front of the theater. There has been some questions as to if this really happened or not, but there have been witnesses popping up online to say they witnessed it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not for violence and... But
that guy fucking earned it.
Yeah, he fucking...
What do you think is going to happen, you fucking asshole?
Like, especially considering the guy that it happened when it happened to me, he wasn't doing it intentionally.
He was just talking too loud.
He was having a conversation with his friends and walked right by me. Right. He wasn't like going out of his that. What that guy did is a dickhead move.
Fucking guy.
There's also a football player,
LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy, fucking asshole.
He's how are they going to do my man Tony like that?
Yeah.
He spelled Tony
He has,
wrong. So if you had like blocks set up on Twitter, it went past it because he spelled it Toney.
EY, fucking retard.
Oh. That's why he played for the fucking Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, he used to play for the Eagles. He used to play for the Eagles, and I hated him back then, and now I hate him even more.
People were mad about that.
Yeah. He has like 700,000 followers.
Think of how many people got that spoiled for them.
Yeah. There was one guy that I follow, Kevin Smith on Instagram, and he had the whole recap thing, and some fan went on Twitter and like fucking berated him for spoiling the movie for him.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You watched a recap."
The one you were talking about, his podcast.
Yeah, his podcast.
Fat Man Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was like, you watched, or I guess podcast.
The title of it.
You listened to a podcast that stated right in the beginning, right off the bat.
Endgame review.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of spoilers.
Some
and this guy just freaked out on him.
That's your own damn fault, man.
But that guy in Hong Kong deserved a beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't advocate for that, but I also don't feel bad.
Or at least to be cursed out. But
throw your soda at him or something.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't beat the shit out of the guy, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying anybody should do it, but I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
I understand.
Yeah. Favorite characters from the movie?
I mean, I think just an MCU as an entirety, Cap is my favorite character.
Same.
And this is funny because I was not a Captain America fan growing up.
Nobody was.
At all.
Nobody was.
But I think Chris Evans just did the character so fucking well, and the way everything was written and whatnot, like they did a really fantastic job with him. But I don't know. I feel like that's such a given. Like I'm trying to think of some of the more like minor people.
Korg. I love Korg.
Yeah, I know.
And you're talking about in this movie,
just in general.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they even showed him for the one scene, and then you see him in the battle at the end, and Drax jumps on Cole Obsidian's back and is stabbing him. Oh shit! I'm breaking the joint up here. And he's stabbing Cole Obsidian, and all of a sudden you see Korg just smash him in the face.
Ant-Man. Paul Rudd was good in it.
He's great.
He was great in it. Basically, the whole movie happened because of him.
The scene of at the diner with Hulk and the kids want to take the picture.
They don't know. They don't know him.
They don't know. You know, he's visibly saying no.
Yeah, that was good.
He was good. The whole movie basically happened because of him.
Actually, the whole movie happened because of a mouse that stepped on his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, sure.
So one of the things at the end when they show Spider-Man, when they show Peter Parker walking into school and he sees Ned and they give each other a hug, that's something that clearly has to be addressed.
I mean, they clearly got left back.
You have, can we talk about absenteeism?
Yeah.
But yeah, you have half the population of the world has suddenly been gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then they just randomly show back up.
And I guess Ned was one of them.
Yeah, I would think so. What are the odds that his whole little academic decathlon team or whatever it was,
I don't know how they're going to do that.
Debate team
all disappeared. Yeah,
and they all came back. So now they're all on a field trip in the next movie and Far From Home.
Yeah,
like that. There's got to be like long-lasting repercussions of all this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you want to put it that way, it is a movie. They are going to have certain things, certain ways. But like, what are the odds that of all the Avengers left, the original 6 happen to be there? Like, they want to tell certain stories certain ways. You know, half the population disappeared. Like, you know, they could play it off that those 4 people, you know, Peter, MJ, Ned, and Flash, all happened to be people that disappeared.
I guess.
I mean, that's four kids out of an entire school where, you know, say there's how many people were in our graduating class? 600?
Big school. He's in the smart kid school.
Yeah. But still, like, you know, say his entire school was 600. That means 300 people disappeared. There's only 4 of them.
Yeah.
They could have been 4 out of that 300.
I mean, Ant-Man's daughter grew.
Cassie Lang.
Lang is an adult now.
Yeah.
18 or whatever.
A lot of people thought they were going to play into her becoming Stature, which is her comic book character.
I think that's part of the reason that they left her and aged her up a little bit.
Did you catch at the funeral for Tony Stark?
The teenage
The-
kid?
yeah.
It was a kid from Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure it out.
I didn't realize
I
it
had
until
to-
after.
I had to look it up because like that kid looks nothing like
Yeah,
what he
but
really
he
does.
stuck out like a sore thumb to me, and I didn't know who
me
it
too,
was.
because I was able to pick out every single person as
Yeah,
they walked
exactly.
through. I was like, this person and that person and that person, and
took
who
me-
the fuck is that?
Yep.
It took me till like we left the theater and I was thinking like, who the fuck was that? And I got home like, oh, that's got to be the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And I
Well-
looked it up and like, yep, that was him.
They said they might use him, Iron Lad. Make him Iron Lad.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
whatever.
see. But they could still bring back Tony as like an AI because if you look, he had the video to his daughter.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, is the cutest kid ever.
Yeah, she was cute.
Yeah.
The whole cheeseburger line.
Yeah.
Like call back to Iron Man 1.
Yep.
A lot of those, a lot of
They had
callbacks.
so many callbacks.
When you hear right when Cap is standing alone on the battlefield,
on your
Thanos'
left.
whole army.
Yeah, I heard on your left, and I was like, "Here we go, here we go."
And then you see
and
all
then
the portals
all
open
the
up.
sling ring portals. I was like, Jesus Christ!
Fucking Cumberbatch came back. I mean, whatever.
AJ hates
Fucking
Benedict
praying
Cumberbatch.
mantis looking motherfucker.
He doesn't look like a praying mantis. He looks like an otter.
His eyes are way too close together, and it makes no sense.
They didn't have enough of the characters that returned. I feel like the only person that really got any play was Spidey.
Yeah.
There was so much going on. I mean,
Yeah.
you
There's
see
so
everyone.
many. Yeah.
Star Lord came. You see the Star Lord with
his
Gamora,
with
little
Gamora.
thing.
Yeah.
Where now you have old timeline
2014 Gamora.
Yep.
So that's got to be the whole setup of the next.
That is
Guardians.
the whole. Yeah, when they were, he was searching, like he was on the computer, like it said searching for her. So, that's going to be the whole plot line of. And even James Gunn had said, like his script for that movie she was a massive part of it. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be them trying to, bring her back and, recreate the Gamora that they know, I guess.
What'd you think of the whole little girl power?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, the women kicking ass.
That was cool.
Sure.
I liked the idea that it was all the girls stepping up. I mean, although the whole concept was that, Peter looks at it, how are you going to get through all that? And they all step up. Oh, don't worry. She has help or she has backup.
Yeah.
Like when she's the one person that needs it the least.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know, maybe this is a take I read and I liked it. I don't know if it's what you guys think of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's almost like their way of shouting out, of like a fuck you to all the internet trolls, the people that were like, all these like limp dick pieces of shit that were trying to get like drop the scores, the review scores of Captain Marvel before it came out.
Right.
It was, you can't have a movie with a superhero movie with a woman. Like all these idiots. That was kind of like saying like the whole MCU has her back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, I mean, they couldn't have done that. This was shot before Captain Marvel was even shot, so they couldn't have played that into.
That's true.
They couldn't have had that in mind when they were shooting the movie.
Yeah, I know.
They were just.
It would have been cool though.
Yeah, in the time that we're in now with the Me Too movement and everything of women need to be equal and everything like that. Like, they should have. They wanted to make a point of. We have this scene, and it's actually the second one they did because this was a much grander scale, but they did it in the first movie.
Yeah, when they were fighting Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, when it was Scarlet Witch, and then Black Widow shows up and says she's not alone, and it's her and Okoye there.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say this? I want more Okoye.
Hell yeah,
Denai Guerrera.
Yeah, she's great.
She's
great.
I think she was my favorite character of Black Panther, hands down.
You did like her.
Hands down.
Yeah, she's great.
They need way more of her in these movies.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind an entire movie with just that cast of women.
I'd be cool with that.
Scarlett Johansson.
She's getting her own movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
She's dead.
It's a prequel.
I don't know. I feel like I didn't. She died. I was like, that sucks.
Well,
and just moved on.
I feel like they gave Tony Stark like a real hero's funeral, but they kind of.
Well, with her, it was kind of like
should have been there.
It was like Gamora's death, part 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's. We had talked about that after we saw the movie, where she was like, "I really felt like I didn't need to see that scene. It was the exact same thing over again." And I think if they had shot it a little differently, like where they didn't show her laying on the ground in the exact same way. It would have been a little more like if she had fallen there and they had just shown his face and his reaction to it.
Yeah.
And then he's in the thing where he's got the soul stone and whatnot. I think that would have been a little more dramatic and not as repetitive.
Yeah, it didn't really hit for me. It didn't land.
Yeah.
It didn't hit for me
Some
only
people
because
thought-
it was the same thing.
Yeah, some people thought Hawkeye was gonna go. I didn't think so because of his family.
It would have made more sense because he already kind of lost everything and this and that, so he was willing to give.
He
it
was
up.
a total fucking badass, though.
Ronan,
absolutely.
Ronan was insane.
But it honestly, like with the storyline, how they wanted to tie everyone's stuff up, like the original 6, it made more sense for her to go because like her journey was like the Avengers became her family and then split up. Like the whole her whole family stopped talking and she lost half of them and everything like that. And then so she was willing to sacrifice everything to get them back together.
Right.
And so that was a good end to her journey.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I really.
But now, where do you think they go from here?
They're kind of. I think
not too many people left.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna
kind of starting at square one.
Yeah, they basically have to start over. But what Drew said before is kind of my whole approach to these movies. I don't like to try to predict what's going to happen. I don't like to think, oh, well, maybe they'll do this, maybe they'll do that. I just like to sit back and let them make the movies.
Yeah.
Like, you tell me what you guys want to do, and I'm just going to sit here and be a fan. I'm going to be part of the audience, and I'm just going to appreciate everything
They've done
I'm seeing.
such a good job that I don't think I have the right to speculate what they should do.
They really knocked this one out of the park, man.
Yeah.
What was the line when Cap and Thor were fighting and the hammer switched? No.
You take the small one.
They wrapped everything so neat and with a bow on it. It was insane.
The only thing I kind of missed at the end of the movie was, and I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because this is the end of sort of this saga, and not the beginning of a next saga, so to speak. They didn't show everybody that's left, like the new Avengers, where they're going to be going. Like I would have liked them to have something of them getting together or something like that. But I guess it's really not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll do it as they go. I mean, it's Falcon is the new Captain America.
Yeah, just like the comics.
Yep.
I mean, he's not really a super soldier though.
No,
but he wasn't in the comics either.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I thought he was going to die.
Really?
Yeah, because I never pictured him as a
feel like
major player.
They don't really give him enough play as a character.
That's why I thought he was going to die. Because he was.
What did you think of the whole elevator scene when they went back?
Yeah, the Hail Hydra.
That was cool.
The Hail Hydra.
Yeah,
that was a shout out to the Secret Empire storyline in the comics.
Okay.
When they turned in, it was a Steve Rogers #1, the comics, where they made him. He was a Hydra agent.
That was a big thing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but it was also a callback to the original elevator scene where it was like, all right, here we're going to have this epic fight scene again, and he was just like...
They had all the same cast, too.
Yeah, all the same cast. Well, it was the strike team specifically.
Yeah.
So he was just like, I'm going to take the easy way out, and just walked out of the elevator with it. It was great.
I like that we get to see like those little moments from the movies where it was like, right after Loki says, "Oh, I think I'll take that drink now."
Yeah,
and you get to see the aftermath and make the Hulk take the steps.
Hulk take the
stairs. That was funny.
And then I really liked again. They did it. They've done it so many times at this point. But the "I could do this all day" thing.
Yeah.
When
I know.
he's like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah,
it's like his
it's
line
like
now.
That's right. Older, wiser Cap. Where he's like, "Man, I was such a fucking goody."
Yeah.
I loved it, man. It was so good.
I've only went back to the movies for Force Awakens. I saw it multiple times.
Okay.
I'm seeing this again this weekend.
When this comes out on video, I'm gonna watch the fight scene because there's so much going on that you can't watch every character. Like for example, Sean Gunn's character, Kraglin.
Yeah, you didn't even see him, but I know he was there.
He's credited in the movie as that. He plays on set. He plays Rocket Raccoon on set. Like he does the motion capture for him, and then he plays Kraglin.
Okay.
But he's credited in the movie as on-set Rocket and Kraglin, so he's in there somewhere. Just can't find him.
You know who else is in there somewhere?
So much going on.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
I just read that today.
In Endgame?
Yeah.
In the scene when you see like the Ravagers come out of the sling ring portal,
yeah.
He's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
really?
He's so fast that I didn't even
They're making
catch
a TV show that Kevin Smith is writing it.
Nice. Yeah, apparently right after it shows the Wasp come out, and right after you see her, you see the Ravagers.
I got to go back and see it.
Like there's just so much to chew in that scene, and just go through every little.
It's just
thing.
amazing that they got like everybody from all these movies for the last 11 years.
Yeah.
It was
so cool.
They brought
3 hours long, and it didn't feel like a minute.
No.
Yeah, at no point
3
did I
hours.
feel like
Yeah.
it was that long.
Yeah,
Nope.
like when it was over, I was like, "That's it. That's been 3 hours."
Yeah.
Like, it moved so well.
It's just a great adventure movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time heist.
Time heist.
Talking about, have you ever seen a time travel movie?
Yeah.
Back to the Future, Time Cop, and Die Hard. Oh, that's not really one.
Yeah. Yep. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I get
absolutely. Yeah.
that. I only wish you guys watched Game of Thrones so we could talk about the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I'm just
Maybe
gonna wait
one
till
day.
it's over and then just binge the whole goddamn thing.
Well, on that note, then I'm just gonna end this shit right now.
Fair enough.
But
I'm
hey,
good with it.
I'm really glad you guys came by so we could talk about this.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Really get to nerd
It
out.
was a good time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is good.
I had fun.
All right.
I like it.
All right, that's
everyone.
gonna be it.
You
Perfect.
Thanks for tuning in, as usual.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, there you go. Like, comment, subscribe.
Smash that like button.
You know how to reach us, APodAmongstMen@gmail.com for any questions, suggestions. If you want advice about something, you want to send in your thoughts about a topic we touched on. If we fuck something up horribly, please let us know. Just be gentle.
Yeah.
But, yeah, follow us on Instagram and Twitter @APodAmongstMen. Tell your friends, tell your wife, and tell your kids. Yeah, in that case, we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Boys. See you.
Night.
All right, man. Just say
night.
goodbye. Jesus Christ.